In 2016, J. Skell completed the construction of the new Skell Technology headquarters on Aroa, an island in the South Pacific Ocean. Skell has the brains, power, and money to do incredible things, like turning an entire island into the headquarters of Skell Tech, but he also has a sense of hope that he can use his technology to help the world. Skell Technology is a blue-chip company producing drones for commercial applications, but it also has found success as a military contractor, developing cutting-edge equipment for the United States government. Skell purchased Aroa with a vision of turning it into a hub for the design, research, development, and production of artificial intelligence and drone technology. By 2024, Aroa was home to more than 30,000 residents, and internal security had become a requirement, so a private military company named Sentinel was hired. Over time, as Skelltech became more advanced and started to become autonomous, the potential risk it posed to humanity started to get noticed. Concerns of what would happen if it were to fall into the wrong hands were being raised. Faced with mounting evidence that its products were ending up in the hands of corrupt regimes, Skell Technology starts coming under increased public scrutiny. Then, in 2025, Aroa mysteriously went quiet. When the company was implicated in an assassination, the United States government decides to investigate further, only for Aroa to cut itself off from the outside world. With allegations towards the company, the US government decides to send in the ghosts. Nomad, now promoted to Lieutenant Colonel, was sent in with a team of 32 ghosts under his command. Their mission was to investigate the island and, if possible, extract J. Skell. Nomad and his team were flown onto the island, but on their way are taken down by a drone swarm. The majority of these ghosts wouldn't even step foot on Aroa. After crash landing on the island, Nomad attempts to regroup with his team while overcoming a series of obstacles put in place by a mysterious group that is hunting them down. They find out that this group is led by a former ghost and close colleague, Cole D. Walker. He has gone rogue, and that a private military contractor named Sentinel has occupied the island under Walker's command. And Walker himself is leading a team of soldiers calling themselves the Wolves. Walker came from a military family. In fact, he was fourth-generation Army. After graduating at the top of his class, he was groomed and fast-tracked into a strategic command career for field operations. Walker was quickly headhunted for the 1st Special Forces Operational Detachment, otherwise known as Delta Force, but was eventually recruited by the Elite Special Mission Unit, known as the Ghosts. During Operation Kingslayer, the Ghosts were called in by the CIA contact, Bowman, to extract a Skell Tech Research and Development Technical Director, Daniel, who had been arrested by Unidad. Daniel had knowledge of sensitive US industrial secrets that needed to be protected at all costs. After eventually hunting him down, they found that fellow Ghost team leader Major Cole D. Walker had arrived there first, but he was working under his own agenda. Walker had found out that Daniel was the one who had designed an advanced surveillance drone for Unidad. They had then weaponized it and used it to kill 2 of Walker's team. Walker agreed to help the Ghosts extract Daniel so he could meet up with Bowman. But curious as to why Bowman was keeping him alive, he stayed close by to investigate. Bowman had to face Walker's accusations and explained that she was following orders from her superiors. Daniel had become a key Unidad informer, and she had to protect him in order to secure multiple US interests in Bolivia. February 2022, Walker, Nomad, along with several other Ghosts, were deployed in the Middle East to run counter-terrorism operations. Later on in the operation, Walker found himself in an altercation with his commanding officer, Vaughn, who had just killed a civilian. This ended with Walker killing the officer. This man happened to be the son of a US senator. It was beginning to get too much for Walker. With no incoming support and watching his brothers getting gunned down around him, he felt trapped and alone. He started questioning who and what he was fighting for. Enough was enough, from political protection of traitors who had 2 of his men killed, to being abandoned and ignored by officers behind desks in times of war, and finally witnessing sons of senators not being held accountable for their actions. He believes mankind has lost its way, and the upper classes and privileged need to be brought in line. Walker officially left the US Army in July of 2022. Then, after gathering support from several fellow ghosts, Walker went rogue and launched an attack, killing former brothers and even one of the senior Ghost Command. In 2024, Walker came on board as J. Skell's military advisor, as he had begun to take an interest in Skelltech's advanced military technology. However, it wasn't long before Walker and his wolves rallied together with Sentinel and took control of Aroa. All communications to and from Aroa were shut down. Using J. Skell's cutting-edge technology, Walker tracked down the people who were responsible for the deaths of his men back in Bolivia. He then used the state-of-the-art drones from Skelltech to assassinate the political candidate responsible for the murders around this time. These were the actions that triggered Operation Greenstone, where 32 ghosts were flown in by helicopter to investigate the island. The same drone swarms that Walker was using to keep the residents from escaping was also stopping anyone from entering the island.